Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of slope as unit rate. This is standard 8.4b in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 39, which is a new item type called hotspot, off the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So when we are looking at this particular problem, hotspot means we need to find two correct answers. And if you notice, we can select two, but we cannot select three. So I'm trying to select that third one, and it's not an option. And if I only select one and then try to move on, it's going to say there is a problem. So let's see if we can figure out how we can solve this particular problem. I'm going to see if I can decrease my grid size to try to match that a little bit. Maybe I can. And let's see here. So what we have is we've got this student taking a 32-minute test to complete 20 questions. We need to choose 2 points that lie on the line with a slope that best represents. There we go. And they're going to give it to us right there. Even though we can visually see it on the actual graph, we can see that we want the number of questions completed per minute. So questions per minute. So there we go. Questions per minute is going to give us this right here. So questions per minute gets us that ratio. The per kind of separates as the fraction bar. Whatever comes after is going to be your denominator. Questions per minute, which makes sense because look at this. This questions is going to be on the y-axis. And then the time, the minutes right there, is going to be on the x-axis. Well, what does that look like? Well, that looks like the slope, right? That's your rise over run. All right, so let's take a look at the only thing we have here are 32 minutes. Okay. So 32 minutes, minutes are on the bottom. 20 questions, that's our numerator, right? All right, so once we know what is our numerator, what is our denominator, so we got our minutes as our denominator, questions as our numerator. Now we're ready to try to figure this out. And if you've probably already figured that there are two options here, right? So we can kind of connect line. We can make one line through those two. We can make another line through those two. So those are our two options. What we cannot do is pick, two that, like, pick this one and this one. Those two don't go together because it's going to have to go through the origin because you can answer 0 questions in 0 minutes. It is proportional. So let's see that 20 over 32. Well, you know what? Let's just make some equivalent fractions. Probably going to be simplest. Because this is the 20 questions over 32 minutes, and you notice the questions only go up to 16, the time only goes up to 16, so we can't do that. So let's divide by 2, and we're going to get 10 over 16, so 10 questions, right? Remember, this is my y, and that's my x. So 10 questions over 16 minutes. So I've got this one right here. I'll make that in blue. And then I'm going to divide, let's just divide that in half again. And you're going to get 5 over 8. Remember, this is our y, this is our x, because the questions are on the top. And I've got that, there we go. I've got that 8, 5. It's kind of flipped. When we're looking at slope, we look at the y first. So our two answers are going to be these two right here.